Hello, and welcome. Did I fuck up? Hello, and welcome. Can anyone hear me? It's not showing me the thing where you could hear me. Whoever's the one person online, please. Because I'm about to get real worried. Oh, bless up, thank God. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Natasha. Welcome as being the only person online right now. I see that attendance is probably going to go down as I continue. Oh, hi, welcome to whoever just showed up. Today, turns out it's not going to be quite tea time with Flora. It's going to be knitting time with Flora because as we begin week 4 of lockdown tomorrow, I am seeking new things to do besides go outside and go drinking and besides going to the pubs. And so turns out my new thing of entertainment is knitting. This will be a very fun Letterman jacket. Oh, hello, welcome to whoever just joined in as well. And so this will probably be my project for the next week. Hopefully I'll finish it. And yeah, how is everyone doing? Oh, goodbye to whoever just left. How is everyone doing? I'm not gonna lie, this morning I woke up feeling like 30% of a human being, and 70%, I don't know, like cretinous creature. Maybe something akin to like a crustacean. Definitely not human. Yeah, Natasha, I really feel that. My co-star has been telling me to just let everything go, let everything come as it come. Okay, but which 30% of my body felt human? Chris, without a beard, says today. You know what? I think it was mostly just my brain. No. It was like my head felt human, but my body felt not really real, like plasticky. This might be a side effect of the fact that I have been listening to a great new podcast called the Magnus Archives. Not new, but have been continuing by listening to the Magnus Archives. And let me tell you, the creatures there are scary. The storyline is great and entertaining and very enjoyable. And as a result, I have definitely been... Oh, we do love a good dissociation. Right. So I woke up this morning and I woke up this morning and I was just like, wow, I don't feel like a human today. This is fine. This is A-okay. You can tell by the way I put red lipstick on. Oh my goodness, what's the word? Compensating. Ha, there we go. I'm compensating for my lack of existence in the human plane of existence by putting red lipstick on. I think it's a great look. I think it's a great way to deal with my lack of existence as a real human being. Also, if this is annoying, if like my doing something at the very bottom of the screen is annoying anybody, please let me know. I will, in fact, either move it completely off screen or completely above screen. Either way, this is just the way where my hands are naturally exist. Anyone been reading any good books? Anyone has been doing anything productive? I, over the past week, have done approximately nothing in terms of any sort of academic work. In terms of general personal development, I have done 0 reading, which I'm very ashamed about, I'm not gonna lie. To all of you doing online classes right now, I really don't understand how. I barely have the motivation to roll out of bed in the morning, let alone like actually sit there and listen to anybody. Natasha says it's all she does is edit photos for the photo account, and yeah, okay, you know what? That's fair and valid. I am alternating between cooking, showing off how well I cook, because on Friday I put in some effort. I went out. I got some fresh king scallops, and I did a phenomenal scallop pasta because I decided to show off for Chris with a beard, or which. Yeah, I decided today you're going to be Chris without a beard and Chris with a beard. Decided to show off for Chris with a beard, just a little, just a tad, just because, like, what else is there to do? I have right. So waking up this morning, literally that being like 30% of a person. I ended up. What did I end up doing? I ended up dynamical systems. Chris, you know what? You are a better person than I am, with a better internal motivation system. I promise I will get around to reading that. I promise I will. I am just, a mess, as what we like to call a mess in the academic world, who does not read textbooks and does not process information. And so I promise, pinky promise, I will get around to it. Eventually, hopefully this week, probably this week. I'm getting really, really bored of everything else, so I might as well, right? Oh wow, my hair's doing quite a funky thing there. But what else? Oh, somebody just messaged me. Why did you just message me? Hello? Why? Wild. Okay. Oh, I'm not actually worried. It's okay, Chris. I know nothing. It's airport. It's quarantine. It's airport rules, you guys. Right? I've been drinking at this morning. I honest to God contemplated. So it was 8:30 a.m. I woke up, right? 30% of a human and all, and I'm making tea. And I honest to God, I stood in this exact position, looking at the kettle, and I contemplated making myself, instead of tea, making myself hot chocolate and just dumping 2 shots of Bailey's in there and just being like, right, this is how we're fixing this. Thankfully I didn't. Somebody please be proud of me for not turning into a mild alcoholic. But I have started drinking at 11 in the morning. I have been known. It has happened in the past 3 weeks of this quarantine dealio. It's not a good reflection on me, on the quarantine, on England. It's just rough, you guys. It really is. What else? And so right. But anyway, and so what my big thing right now has been cooking and this whole knitting deal. I was convinced to order more yarn, so now I have, besides this project with this beautiful color blue, I have 3 other projects, for 2 of which I have yarn and not needles for, and one of which for which needles are coming for, and another project for which the yarn still hasn't arrived yet, even though I put in the order very long ago. It is rough. It is very, very rough. For those of you awake at obnoxious morning hours, thank you. I am deeply appreciative of the fact that you chose to be here. I really, really am. But actually though, there's no obligation for anyone to show up to the stream or interact in the live chat. I promise. If you're just here to listen to somebody else talk and drone on about whatever, because you're feeling isolated during this very troubling time of ours, that's also fine with me. You're more than welcome. So whoever the 2 other people watching are right now, that's okay. You know what? Please, it's okay. I don't mind. And so. But yeah, that's approximately how I've been going. And I didn't really have a topic plan for today. I feel like I am good enough of just talking for hours and hours at a time, that I could probably do it fairly calmly. Right, Natasha, I went to bed last night. I went to bed at 10:30 because I am an old person, and I have no understanding how anyone can function at these weird ass hours. Sorry, this is me joining my old string to new string. Oh, hi. Hello. Hi, Zoe. Welcome. Right. Okay. See, I thought you'd be on. How is your Animal Crossing game going? If anyone else is playing Animal Crossing, and want more friends, there's Zoe in the chat. Put your friend. I know there's like friend codes involved. Put your friend codes in the put your friends codes in the chat. We will. We can make a party. This is fine. That is fine with me. We're going to continue my knitting at this point. Oh, my Lord. This is tangled. It's not. We're fine. We're Gucci. We're Gucci. Okay. Well, there we go. Zoe says that they got hella fruits if anyone wants them. I'm not going to lie. My loan is my student loan comes in tomorrow. Oh, how exciting. Right. So the deal with my student loan is the fact that I've set aside in my student loan, right, because I was allowed to take up to a certain number. I was allowed to take out up to like an obnoxious of $55,000 for this year. I didn't take out the full $55,000 because I don't need the full $55,000, but I did take out my student loan in mind that I would have a fairly strict budget for like my day-to-day existence, and plus on top of that, about £300 a month for external fun things. For external fun things, including and not limited, mostly towards going out, but including and not limited to trips to Dublin, trips to Ireland, trips to mainland Europe. I was planning a trip to Amsterdam over this spring break. That's not happening anymore, as we all can notice. Trips to London, right? Just general goodness. And so now I have an extra £900 in my current budget, that's supposed to come in like tomorrow, if the university is still functioning properly. That's supposed to come in tomorrow that I'm super, super excited for. And I think some of that £900 is definitely going to get dropped on Switch, because at this point, I have gotten myself 4 video games. I have played so many hours of ESO. I've gotten Chris with a beard hooked on ESO as well. And I am still bored half the time that I am still sitting here knitting like a grandma, and keeping grandma hours, honestly, and cooking and making sure other people are eating like a grandma. It's fine, really. I should just start a household at this point. But yeah, so that is probably what I'm going to end up doing, because I am very upset about the fact that my European year was turned into my sit-at-home year. And logically, since we all know how the government actually operates, logically, we're not going to be out of this quarantine up until like August at the very earliest. So guess we're chilling. Hello to whoever just joined in. Welcome. Is everything okay? Yeah, okay, it's fine. Welcome. Hopefully you are. What is going on? This is weird. Oh, okay. There we go. That explains it. That explains so much. Right. I had to undo. Oh, hi. Hello. Hi, Chris. With a beard. Hi, Chris with a beard. I had to undo like a solid inch and a half of my work today because I misread the instructions, and I'm heartbroken, honestly, distraught. Goodbye to whoever just left. See you around, I guess, or not. I don't really know. I don't really care, honestly. This is a personal ego project and nothing more than that. What else? And so, yeah, how anyone of the wait, okay. Lots of young people today who knit, right? Lots of young people who knit, honestly. Yeah, that's fair. Actually, that is a big gripe I have with the current knitting community, is that it's made up of people who are like ancient, and then there's like people who are very young and hip like me. And I did just use hip, ironically, it's fine. But the issue is that the patterns have not adjusted to young and hip people like me, and so there's so many, and I mean so very many, grandma-y patterns out there done in very colors, and it's not a fun time. And so whenever I go through and like look for patterns to do and look for things to do, I end up stumbling on the same like six sweater patterns, and like two interesting things, and then maybe like three paid, and then like three decent looking paid for patterns of like scarves. And I'm tired of that, and I really want to get to a point where I can like make my own, like learn my own, like make my own patterns at this point. And I feel like that'll be like a really entertaining thing for me to do. But also that requires time and effort that I don't know if I can like actually commit. So maybe it'll just be me and those like seven different sweater patterns forever. It's fine. It's okay. I think I can handle 7 or more sweaters. Also, please be proud of me. I have finished one of these giant balls of yarn, and I have now started the next one. And so this is very exciting. It's actually a commission, because this is not my yarn. This is Elliot's yarn. And Elliot's going to get a very lovely, and I'm certain that it's going to be a very lovely cardigan. It's a Letterman cardigan. Also, it's Campo colors. It's high school colors, which is toxic, but not in a bad way. And so, yeah, right. Okay. So recently I have read that humans, very fascinatingly, humans need to be able to grow their own like food. Not in the sense that like we like biologically need it, but in the sense that humans go crazy and like actually start hallucinating and like actually start like shutting down if we're not in close contact, or at least see a plant, like a real life plant, every once in a while. And I don't know how often how often you actually have to see this plant for, but I feel like that's fascinating, because that will just ruin any and all of our plans for the for colonizing Mars, first of all. But more importantly, I feel like it ruins half the plot of Interstellar. If anyone has seen that movie, it's a glorious movie. Please go watch it. Especially if you're into like science fiction. Oh, it's so good. But so yeah, it just ruins the entire plot of the whole go out into space and repopulate the human race on a planet that's even remotely livable on. And it seems fake, but all right. I don't like it, but okay. And so that's why my giant issue with that's my giant issue right now as I'm talking about this. And so yeah, that's one more thing. Anyone? I really am like only 30% of myself today because I can't. It's been 20 minutes and I'm now completely out of things to actually talk about. And I might. I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. If oh wow, okay, okay. Chris with a beard says that they grow right. Yeah, I really want to see this. I really want to see. I'm really invested in seeing this garden. I hope you understand this. Every time you talk about like growing things, I get more and more invested and being able to see where they like see this growth happen, and it's just I'm just very jealous. I'm just very jealous. Um, but yeah, so like it's I might end up ending this early because honestly, at this point, I my 30% of humanness isn't enough to drive me for or let me talk for for an extended period of a full hour because that's seems very daunting right now. I'm not gonna lie because yeah, I'm out of topics to talk about in 20 minutes. But more importantly, or more interestingly, wait, I lost it. No. Okay, I had a thing that what was it? 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 Okay, we were talking about plants. I was talking about being exhausted. I was talking about not having anything to talk about. I talked about the podcast, and I talked about well, this is it. This is it. This is it, y'all. Uh, oh no, right. I do have things to talk about. Right. Let's. So in a very also, if anyone has anything to add to this conversation, please go for it. Yeah, it is a mood. It is a mood. Thank you for supporting me like this, Natasha. Welcome to whoever just joined in. So me, I have a Russian tutor. I am half Russian. Also, happy Easter to everyone who's celebrating Easter today. Russians don't actually right. Okay, more accurately, not quite Russians, but I was christened. I was christened Russian Orthodox, and as and Russian Orthodox and because I'm Russian Orthodox, our Christmas is actually our entire calendar is actually shifted a whole lot, and so our dates for important things like Christmas and Easter don't actually align with everyone else's dates of Christmas and Easter, and so our Easter is actually on the 19th, aka in a week. Um, and I and so I deeply feel for everyone who is not going to be home to see their family, who are either not home to see their family or celebrating Easter in a very low key manner. Because I know for a fact I have some friends back in Chicago who used to go home who are not able to go home for not Christmas. It's not Christmas. It's Easter. Who are not able to go home for Easter, which is very, very upsetting to them. And I truly, truly, deeply feel for you. But I was talking about being Eastern Orthodox. I was talking about Christmas, not Christmas, Easter. This is the fifth time I've messed up Christmas and Easter today, and I don't know why. Please don't quote me on this. It's not my fault. It's because today is a weird day. Does anyone know? Is anyone well versed in astrology here? Does anyone know why today is just one of those days? Because I would like to know if this is gonna go soon. Also, I would like to know if this is like me or is this like not me or is this like universal? Because if anyone else is like in a mood today, please tell me because I'll feel a little better about myself and about being in like half a headspace and not the real half of my headspace. I was gonna be talking about, and I'm back to not being able to remember what I was going to talk about. This is lovely. I'm just continuing being more and more distracted away from myself. I don't even know if I'm going to put this up. I don't even what. Oh, Okay, wait. Natasha just wrote that she had to delete CoStar because her phone ran out of battery. Don't you mean storage space? Oh, that's fair. Right, I'm talking about 4 weeks of confinement. I more things that are upsetting about these 4 weeks of confinement is the fact that the past 2 weeks I have the weather in the British Isles has been the best it's ever been. It's been objectively the best weather. And so yesterday it was 23 degrees Celsius and um and absolutely perfect outside. And it would have been so nice to like get a bunch of friends together and go on a picnic or just like go, just hang out in the sun or like go on a walk with a group, anything in a group activity, to do a group activity outside. Instead I spent 3 hours lying in the sun roasting myself like one of those Costco chickens because I have came out of this British winter being very pale and significantly more pale than I am used to being, which was disconcerting. I will put it that way. It was definitely disconcerting. And so I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to take like a party. Oh, there's like 7 people. Hello to whoever just joined in. I'm just very I'm never gonna take like a party or like any sort of social. Hi Ren. Oh, I'm so glad you made it. Right. Okay. I'm never, ever gonna take a social gathering the same way again because I used to be so that like I have to be invited. Now I don't care if I'm invited anywhere. I'm gonna if I want to see these people, I'm gonna show up, and you're gonna have to deal with me. No, it's absolutely okay. Honestly, it's fine. Oh, goodbye to whoever just left. Um, character thank you. Right, I agree. I think you know what, we can all do with some character development during this quarantine. I think we're all going through character development during this quarantine season. I At this point, I this is an ego project. This is an ego project. Everything, half the things I do, I don't even care about anymore. Actually, that's a lie. I'm, am I really supposed to care? What am I actually supposed to care about at this point? If I can't go outside for longer than like 2 hours, but actually I did go outside yesterday for 3 hours. I tanned and it was beautiful and it was everything I needed. And I listened to like 2000 jams. If you ever wanted to just hear every single piece of music you unconditionally know every single word to, I highly suggest. Oh no, Natasha, that's bad. We don't like that. No. We should get you. This is we need anyone have suggestions on what to do if you're at home stuck and depressed? Because honestly, we need to all come out of this better versions of ourselves. Because I don't. If we're allowed to come out of this worse versions of ourselves, I am about to become a menace to society more so than I already am, and I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think that would be a good thing. So please suggestions in the chat or in the comments. Either way, if you're watching this afterwards, suggestions in the comments, please. But I was talking character development, menace to society. What was I talking about before menace being a menace to society? Right. Okay. So, Chris, thank you. That is actually very important input. Right. Okay. See, it's less coming out better. I just it's just okay. Right. I'm not here to like tell anyone that this is a bad, like it's a bad thing that they're feeling the way they are, because honestly, same again, 30% of a human being. I don't want, and I know it's because I have seen the same person. Right. Yesterday I met a new person in the first for the first time. I saw a new human being for the first time in 4 weeks. And honestly, I'm already ready to kill for this girl. I already am. It's fine. It's fine. She's the definition of a disaster lesbian, and it's great. And honestly, Ren, they remind me a lot of you, but it's just, and I'm just, it honestly, it's driving me up a wall. And so, but it's mostly about the fact that if I'm like personally worried that if I, this is in fact, a very awful time, and this is not even awful in the like direct sense, but this is worrying and traumatic and very panicky, and you're allowed to not do anything, and you have to be um you don't have to come out of this better, right? That's not what I'm truly trying to say, is that you absolutely don't have to come out of this in an okay state, because a lot of people aren't going to come out of this in an okay state. And I know that like I'm definitely, like I'm saying I'm going to be better off. If I really am I really gonna be better off? I'm not gonna know that until like right until we're another year down the line, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm a better human. That being said, right, my personal journey to being a better person has started what, in 2017. And so that's when I started, and that's why, and I'm still working at the goals that I set for myself at that point in time in my life. And so this, everything that's going on today and here right now is not quite about it, right? It's not, I'm not setting goals for myself in for the quarantine. I'm just working at the goals that I've already had, and still, taking those steps forward. And I think that's like one of the more important things, rather than just setting yourself goals for quarantine, is to remember that you can still work towards the goals that you set for yourself um, before all of this happened, right? You can still, there's still ways to like advance yourself as a person. There are still ways to advance your outlook on the world. There's still like things that you can do to personally help yourself, and help yourself be a better version of yourself, and not a better version in the eyes of society, but a better version for you, right? Who you believe you want to be, and take more steps towards that. Okay. Thanks, Natasha. I promise I didn't mean to put any pressure on that, but I just meant in the terms of like this, I think it would be absolutely heartbreaking and personally really discouraging to me, if the work that I've put in to be a better person, to be better than I used to be better than my past self, would be undone by the fact that we're sitting here in quarantine for another 4 weeks at least, right? I would personally be absolutely distraught at that, and I really hope that's not where I'm going. But also, right, that is absolutely where I could be going at this point. And who knows and honestly, who knows what's going to happen. And if anyone also feels like they're slipping from their goals that they set for themselves outside of the quarantine, because right, we should all allow ourselves to feel bad, and to loosen up, at the very least loosen up our goals, right? But it doesn't change the fact that we can, even if we can progress towards a better, it still does require work on our parts to progress towards a better. And as a result, right, it's important for us, and it's important to us to like recall that, if especially when like my sense of achievement and my sense of accomplishment almost exclusively revolves around other people. My like all of my motivational systems, right? Almost all revolve around external stimuli, and so I desperately need the external validation to tell me that yes, I am moving forward, and I need somebody to be like, yes, I'm proud of you. I notice that you're doing better. This is wonderful. Good job, for me to like feel that accomplishment. And it's becoming a lot harder to receive that if for no reason other than the fact that I don't see people, right? And I don't have that external feedback towards myself. And as much as I can believe that I'm a better person, right? Am I really? How can I be my own judge? And this is of course only my opinion, right? This I apply only to myself, right? If you're working on different things than I am, right, you can absolutely be your own judge, and this doesn't necessarily have to apply to you. But for me, right, it's part of that is that external validation, and part of that is that external drive, is that I want to be better. Not really kind of selfishly, but I want to be better for other people, because it's a lot easier for me to motivate myself to be better for other people, rather than to just be better for my own sake, which is a lot less concerning than it actually sounds. I promise. It's part of the fact that ADHD also does. Is anyone else just deeply suffering by the lack of structure in their lives as well? Because honestly, that's probably the biggest thing that's getting to me, is the fact that I have zero structure. I have lost count of the days. I am tracking my existence based on when I do these live streams and my 3 mandatory scheduled things. I have this. I have what else is that? Right. On a variable time, which makes it a lot better. On a variable time on Tuesday and Thursday, I have a lesson that I have to give, and then on Fridays at 10 a.m. in the morning, I have a Russian lesson, and that's honestly the only thing keeping my life even remotely on track, because I would not know the days of the week. There is a calendar that stands on my desk, right? Witnesses can confirm that often enough this is set to the wrong date. Everything is simultaneously a Tuesday, a Saturday, and a Friday night. And I dare you to tell me I'm wrong, because I know all of you also feel that, especially if you're not going into work on a daily basis, because it's simultaneously, you can never escape that there's that Tuesday, Thursday feel where you're supposed to be doing work, but you don't really know if you are. Who messaged me? Oh, hello, welcome. Okay. Right. So thank you, Chris, for your feedback. And this is actually making my life a lot difficult, because I have that's exclusively a Thursday, right? So that what's making my life actually quite difficult is the fact that well, if anyone's using this as a scheduling thing, you know what? I will keep on doing these on the same time each week, because honestly, these are keeping me sane. because I feel like I'm like talking to people and hanging out with people while I'm doing this. And so if this is making you sane and this is helping you remember what day of the week it is, then please you're more than welcome. I am glad. It will not change anytime soon, I promise. Um, and so, but yep, that's like, and it's just, and everything's getting so monotonous as well, right? I'm trying, and like part of me, and right, and everything is kind of in this gray zone between wanting to do something new and exciting and wanting continuous like comfort items and comfort food, because everything is kind of terrifying right now, especially with the American political system and the fact that, our only hope just dropped out of the presidential nominee race, and that's fine. It's not fine in the slightest, but we do what we do to survive. We do what we must to survive. And like whenever I'm in the grocery store, I don't know if anyone else has had the same like mental state, but whenever I'm in the grocery store, half of me is like reaching towards new things to be like, ooh, maybe I could try something new with this because I have the time to try something new with this and put in 3 hours into cooking something new today or ever or every day. And half of me is like, no, I want 3 rolls of digestives and I want Reese's cups because this is going to make me feel better about the life. And it, and what do you even do during that? What do you even do during this time of just like, because I am bored. I would like something new, but also I want something comforting and I want something that's familiar and sane and reminds me of like day-to-day existence. Um oh Lord. Zoe just posted Zoe Zoe just posted in the chat that she knows somebody who donated all of their tuition loan to the Bernie Fund, and now they're waiting for their parents to realize that their tuition fees aren't going to be processed. And honestly, that's terrifying. I am. What? Oh, Chris, on the aspect of doing things on a day-to-day basis, has just voiced that he does math until he runs out of energy and then just space out and feel despondent for the rest of the day. Yeah, I kind of sit here in silence and knit. That is what I've reached. I've either sit here in silence or I put on the the passive horror of the Magnus archives, and I just deal with that the entirety of the time, right? It's hard to feel horror about real life if you have other horror to listen to. Big brain idea right there. But yeah, what the hell? Wild? On one, like, I actually, like, I'm not gonna lie, part of my, that is, I just, oh, wild, okay, I just knit the row wrong. This is fine. Part of me was actually kind of writing on the fact that I would have, not truly, I am up to 95. John has figured out everything that's going on, but he hasn't figured things out, but he's gotten clued into what's going on. He's just the ringmaster just showed up to talk to him. I just finished that episode. That was very scary, not gonna lie, kind of terrified me. I was halfway to falling asleep and then her voice came on and I was like, what? But it is what it is. It's a lot. Actually, if you haven't listened to the Magnus archives and you enjoy listening to things, and Two Voices. I highly recommend it. Very, very good. Don't listen to it alone. More accurately, don't listen to it when you're walking alone somewhere, especially if you're walking alone in the half dark. I have done that. Not a good idea. Trust me, it's very, very, very bad idea to listen to it, especially as a woman walking alone in the dark. Is all I have to say. But other than that, if you're sitting alone at home with nothing to do, highly recommend it. Very, very good. I tried to match my lipstick to my mug. I don't know how well it worked, but looking on camera, it looks like it worked very well, which I'm actually very happy about. But yeah, so I don't have words. So if anyone needs a space to process what's going on with the American political system, right. Okay, so I have a Russian tutor. Very importantly, I have a Russian tutor, and my Russian tutor and I, before we have an hour, we have hour long sessions in the morning on Fridays, and part of that, usually we spend about like 5 to 10 minutes talking at the very beginning, checking in, being like, yeah, what happened? How are we doing? How's everything going? And as all of you know, I hope, I study politics, and so part of the thing that we do is that my Russian tutor and I, we read a modern Russian. So for reading practice, for speech practice, I read not academic, pseudo, like half academic politics articles on Carnegie.ru. So a Carnegie reporting site usually about political things, political events, things that are going on in Russia, and that's how I generally keep myself up to date on like politics in Russia. But this past lesson, we ended up talking for about 30 minutes about the realities of us all sitting at home, how long it's going to last, what are the implications for everyone here, not for everyone here, but what are the implications for the world about, yes, Carnegie.ru, highly recommend it. It's a heavy Russian academic texts, not heavy, but they're great. Highly recommend it. Also, if you need Russian practice, Natasha, Medusa.ru. Also, that's significantly shorter, significantly lighter, but also still non-propaganda-y Russian news. Highly recommended by my Russian teacher. And so we spent like 30 minutes talking about approximately the same thing, aka what's going to happen with the economy, when is this lockdown going to finish, what are the political implications of this, and because I think I'm the only one, also I don't know any politic-oriented people in Russia that would be open to society as open people, right? We talked about this for a while, and I also think that I'm the only one he knows that's actually properly academically, politically oriented and actually keeps up on stuff. And so not only did I walk him through of why this entire virus thing is very bad for Putin, and very bad for Russia if God forbid gets out of hand, but what's also going on in the United States and why the United States is also doomed to what is most likely going to be another 4 years of Trump. Also, if you haven't heard, Trump is probably going to win another 4 years, which I am I will mourn when that day comes, is all I have to say. Hopefully not. But then again, I see very little difference between Biden's and Trump's policies at this point. If you truly take a look at it, they are not all that different. Biden is, in fact, right or center right, no matter what he pretends to be, because because also our minds in the United States are so skewed towards the right because we have such a far extremist right claiming to be center right that we have no comprehension of what the right actually is supposed to be. And we also talked about right, yeah, I also love that. But to be fair, the nomination process hasn't stopped yet, right? Technically, not half, but some, like a large collection of states haven't had their primaries yet. And Bernie did win California, which should have counted for something. I'm not gonna lie, it really should have counted for something. But yeah, so, and I walked him through some combination of American politics at this point, and I also walked him through the what is the right, what is the left, and all of that, because at this point, right, I think it's very important for us to continue reminding ourselves of the realities of both terms that politicians continue to use and the just reality as a whole, and that we don't have to accept everything that is given to us and is presented to us on a silver plate by the media, by politicians. And it's very important for you to, do your own research, do your own insights. And yeah, I was actually talking to Chris with a beard recently about how there's times that I really wish that I've gone into something more hands-on, that there are times that I wish that I didn't go into or decided not to go into political science, IR academia, but instead got into science, math. I feel like I would have been great in engineering, given my love for mathematics and my and my goodness in art. Sorry, I just have awful allergies. There was a wasp in my bedroom today, and it was objectively the worst experience of my life. It got in. It took it 45. I trapped it between the open window and the curtains, and it still took a solid 20 minutes to leave my room. It was the most horrifying experience to date here in England. I do not want a repeat of it, and I did check that it wasn't a bee friend, because I know bee friends are good, and if it was a bee friend, I would have dabbed some honey on my window and we were like, here you go, bee friend. But no, it was a wasp, and it was angry, and I hated every second of it. And Chris with a beard wouldn't let me hide in his place. So how good is he actually? Right. That was that. But it is very important to remember not to right. And so I was talking with him about wanting to go into something more. There are times where I legitimately want to go into something more practical, a little more hands-on, something that would have a more direct. Thank you, wasps, is all I have to say. I am bad insects. 0 out of 10. And so, but much more interestingly is the fact that like on one hand, I really do want to go into something that like I could see a direct like change in society, right? I could actively influence change. But on the other hand, every single time I look at any of our politics, every single time I open up Facebook and see masses of uninformed voters, of people who are talking about the political system, and it's clear, and they talk about it with such absolute certainty. And I read it and I question everything every single time, because I read it and I'm like, who brainwashed you like this? Who sat you down and made you believe that there couldn't be. Exactly, right? Who sat you down and made you believe that this is the way things are supposed to be, right? And I and every time I see that, right, I get reminded right back why I decided that I wanted to go into academia, is because I do want to teach. I firmly believe, I desperately want to teach. And I want to teach not at a disinterested high school level, but I want to teach at an engaged, truly critical level, because as much as I believe that the high school teachers of the United States are doing God's work, how much can they truly do if the state sets standards that they have to pass? And how much can they truly do if most schools in the United States require you to, first thing in the morning during assembly or whatever, stand up and recite the Pledge of Allegiance, right? And it seems like a very mild brainwashing thing, but those collective actions have such profound effect on our internal psychology that once you do that enough times, you will believe anything. Once you repeat something enough times, you will believe anything. And that just makes me blatantly terrified for not just the state of, democracy, because at this point I'm questioning if a democracy is truly the best way, the best form of government, if we don't have good public education. And by good I mean objective, critical, insightful, and supportive public education to everyone, not just those who come from privileged backgrounds, not just those who come from the good zip codes, and from well-funded areas, but for everyone universally, because if everyone universally cannot be an educated, involved member in our democracy, right, then we get things like Modi in India. We get people like Trump in the United States wielding this power, and I think Trump knows that. I think Trump is self-aware. Is really what I have to say. I think Trump knows that what he's doing is not the greatest. I think he just doesn't care. I truly believe that he just doesn't care. And I don't know, it's a little disheartening. It really, really is. So I will now, if anyone has any last comments, please, the live chat is there for you to comment. If anyone has any other opinions about the quarantine, how they're doing during the quarantine, what they're doing to keep themselves sane during the quarantine, the chat is there, not the chat, the comments are there for you. Please share your suggestions. I would love to hear them. I would love to hear how you're solving the duality of wanting something new and exciting and to like do something, but also perpetually wanting to be in a state of like a blanket burrito and being comforted and told everything's going to be okay, because I'm like a pendulum. I'm perpetually fluctuating between those 2 points of, yeah, let's try something new, and no, I want everything the same, exactly how it's supposed to be, and I want us to like walk out of this quarantine as if we were just walked out of like a time stop, which I know isn't going to happen, but what can we do? And now we have a final 30 seconds. Turns out I can still talk for an hour straight. How lovely. Just shows my extrovertedness, I guess. or strength of opinion. I can put it that way as well. Everyone, please stay safe. Stay at home. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. Call your family. They miss you. Try not to take offense to the things that they say, even though even if they are offensive to you. They probably don't mean them to be offensive. They just don't know how to communicate properly. No one knows how to communicate properly in this universe. They really, really don't. So take it at face value. Tell your loved ones you love them, because honestly, I think my mom sends me cat pictures every single day, and that's keeping me more sane than almost anything at this point. So all my love. My chats, my DMs, however it is that you usually communicate with me, are open perpetually if you ever want to talk. I also, do exist online beyond these streams. So if you ever want a video chat, that's also available. And yeah, so please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.